Hello! Thank you for tuning in to the Love Reads. I'm going to try something a little new this time around. I'm going to try doing pick-a-reads for each sign in relation to love. I'm going to put out 3 stones. The first time around with that pile, I'm going to do the relationship. Then I'm going to do the single version for the same pile. I'm going to try to give a little bit more diversity. I feel like even though we may share the same sign as someone else, we have different variations about what's going on in our lives. So I want to give more options, more diversity, so that way you can find what pile most resonates with you. Let me know at the end, of course, if this worked or didn't work for you. It's going to be a little different than normal, but let's give it a shot. Hello, Gemini. Thank you for tuning in. For this version, I'm going to use the Modern Spellcaster's Tarot by Melanie Marquise, illustrated by Scott Murphy. And for this supportive oracle cards, the Angel Answers cards by Adoring Virtue and Radley Valentine. Okay, let's see what we have here. See if I can keep these in frame. There we go. Okay, we got that. Let's do the alright, so let's see the stones. There's that stone, and this stone. So this will be stone 1, stone 2, and stone 3. Alright, so there's stone 1. Let's get right into that. Alright. Are they all in frame? We're going to hope they are. Yes, they look like they are. Alright, the top part is you. The bottom part is the other person. We're going to read it for a relationship, and then we're going to read the same cards with the single version. Okay. Yeah, I think that's more like that. Opportunities, how this all starts. This is relationship. Something good's coming in. I feel like it means more to your partner than it does to you, to be honest, but I see you very happy about it. Giving. I feel you giving towards that way. I feel the giving going this way. Like the 6 of Pentacles is, give, receive type thing. I feel like they're receiving on this one. Because I feel like you're lending a hand, or you're saying, yes, that's good, or I give approval if that's what it needs, something like that. You're very happy about this. I don't see any problems at this point. Actually, I don't really think there's going to be problems. But I definitely giving you the green light. You're giving the green light to your partner. Seems good enough. Your partner, I'm noticing there's a lack here. So I feel like this is something they're doing on their own, and you're just kind of approving it, or you're all happy with it. It's all good. Whatever they want to do, that's cool. So they go ahead and they get that going. And I'm getting the 3 of Wands here. The thing is, the 3 of Wands is telling me whatever you're giving approval for, it seems like it's taking them away from you for a little while. I'm thinking this is taking them away from you a little bit more than you prefer. I think that's the whole point of this reading. Because I'm getting temperance here, and I'm getting a compromise needs to be met. Especially if you're getting this in the beginning, just to realize that maybe some of the time that this is going to take for your partner, the time away from you it's going to take, because I'm getting that disconnect. I don't feel like you're doing it with them. You're just kind of saying, yeah, that's cool, go ahead, do that, I'm cool with that. Whatever it is, you're approving it. Because, sometimes either time-wise or money-wise, sometimes that's necessary. But the time they're spending away from you, I feel like that's more than you really care for. I'm getting there's kind of a sadness, not a sadness, but like a loneliness. You'd like them to be around a little more. You're just kind of like, well, I wasn't thinking that it was going to be like this that much. I thought a little break would be okay, but it's turning out to be a little bit more than I care for. The compromise is going to have to be struck where I feel like you're going to want them to rebalance that a little bit, just so you can hang out with them a little more or see them a little more. It's more about the intimacy is what I'm getting. So it's interesting because I don't feel like you're against any of it. I feel like you're very happy with the whole situation. It's just down the road, I feel like it just ends up taking more time than you expect, and I feel like you need to compromise with them or have them compromise with you about rebalancing this just so you could see them more is what I'm basically getting. I just think the whole point is like you're being very very gracious with the situation, but you're very promotive of it. I almost feel like you might be over-promoting it here. Maybe that's what we're kind of connecting into. Because you're in a very good mood. You're like, yeah, this is cool. Yeah, that's great. You should do that. You're very supportive. I just feel like if you keep it in mind, even at this point, hopefully you're getting this reading at this point, just try to help yourself see that coming, where you're not going to end up being like, oh, you know, it's been a while. It's been a while. You're not around as much. I would like you to be. If you see that coming, the sooner you see that coming, the easier it will be for you to maneuver and swim through it to get to what you need it to be rather than what it is. All right, now let's do it for the single people. The single people. Opportunity comes in. I'm noticing, I guess, you still have the disconnect here, which makes me feel like somebody around you, there's somebody around you that you like. I feel like this is part of a friend group type thing, kind of like a social acquaintance in one way or not. The opportunity comes forward. And I feel like this person, the other person you're dealing with in this version of the reading, they're trying to balance it out. They're trying to decide whether this is good or not for them. They're not really, I feel like they're not really sure, but they feel good about you. They're just not sure if this is going to work out. But they want to give it a shot. I feel like it's kind of like the giving it a shot thing. But ultimately, I feel like they're willing to give it a shot. I don't feel like it lasts long enough. Because I feel like in this reading, this seems more closer to here. Don't get caught up in the gender, but I feel like they're very, it seems like they want to do it. They seem ambitious in the beginning. But what I see happening after is like the Three of Wands. Like I feel them moving on. I actually see them moving on, and I feel you kind of like wondering, like, where'd you go? I almost feel like you also might be kind of having the feeling here that it's just like, well, they're a little busy right now, but they'll come back around. I'm not really sure that's going to be the case. It could possibly be, but when I'm getting compromise between the two of you, I feel like you're bringing it back to what it was before the possibility of going farther came in. For example, if you were social friends, if you were work friends, if you knew somebody, you know, however you know them, however they know you. I feel the compromise is saying they don't want to go forward right now, they're moving on. So you're bringing it back to what it was. You're like, well, we had a moment, we tried to see where it went. It doesn't seem like it's time. The compromise is kind of like you're not shutting it down completely, but you're not going forward. You're just kind of bringing it back to where it was. So if it was a friendship before, or just like a casual, just knew them around the way before, you're bringing it back to what it was, is what I'm getting. Because they seem to be moving on instead of moving forward. They possibly could come back later. I'm not getting any cards that really say that that's what's going to happen. So if they are coming back, it's a long ways down the road. I just feel like you're regressing back to the way it was. All right. That's that first stone. Let's do stone number 2. Why do we have this whole wall here? Okay. So we're going to do relationship first. Oh, I like that card. That's a good one. Not that there's, you know, okay. Okay, well, this is a very interesting ending, isn't it? Alright. Let's see if I can move it up a little bit. We're doing relationship first. A very stable relationship is what it looks like. It is. And I feel like this is going to serve you down the line. This is something very stable. Very good relationship is what I'm getting for the most part. Like, I'm not saying things are perfect or, you know, we're sunshine and rainbows all the time, but, you know, it's pretty good. What I'm actually more pulling towards is like things just seem to go for a while, seem to be going on autopilot for a long time here. And I'm getting like, it feels like even though the situation is pretty good, or at least it was, I feel like there's a disconnect. Like there might be a disconnect between people. I see a disconnect. They got meditation brings answers on their side, and then you have ask angels for help in the center. I'm getting like there's a disconnect. It feels like this is why. The other side seems to be feeling it too. They seem to be more aware of it than you are. I'm wondering if you're very busy. You might be so busy that you don't have time to really notice. I'm wondering if that's the case here. Because I'm noticing there's an open spot here. This could be very fluid, depending how you're connecting. The other person definitely notices that this is a little bit lacking from normal. There's an emotional distance here. You may be noticing this is open, so it's depending on how you're interpreting it, how you feel. Like if you notice it, great. If you're not really noticing it, but you're noticing your partner seems a little bit distant lately, this is probably why they're feeling that distance too, and they're just maybe feeling you're too busy for them, is what I'm getting at the moment. So I'm getting some help is coming in here, trying to pull this together again. Now, I feel like other people are involved here. So I almost feel like maybe there's an event or a situation where the two of you are coming together to enjoy an event together. I feel like that's the kicker, because when you come together for whatever event, whether it be a party or whatever it may be, a reunion, something like that, I'm getting it's hard for the two of you to line up at the same time, or you're not on the same page about what to do or how to do it. Who's going with who, that type of thing. I feel like one of you might even possibly getting a ride from a friend, thinking the other is not going to be able to show or can't go at the same time. I'm getting stressed between the two of you. The Ten of Wands, I almost feel like maybe your partner is going forward without you, thinking that either you're not going to be able to go or you're going to come when you're ready because you have things going on. This event seems to be coming up, and I'm seeing them just kind of letting you lie, letting you do what you need to do, not really approaching you. And I feel you really upset with that, with the Devil card. Like that's pushing your buttons. That's pushing your buttons. The Ten of Wands is there, and I'm feeling there's a lot of stress between you and your partner. Seeing this coming, because I'm noticing this is at the end. They're saying this moment is coming. To reconnect now, if you chose this, it's saying reconnect now. If you're feeling distant or you're not talking as much as you used to, start talking, start promoting some conversations. You can actually, this can all be avoidable. The Devil card is coming. So I feel like you could move the Devil card up on your side. Major Arcanas you can't usually negate them out. These can be negated out though. These two can. You being unhappy with the disconnect and trying to get things to reconnect, you're going to run into some type of snag, something you hear, or your partner's going to say something to you that is going to push your buttons. The thing is, it's getting it over now rather than later, and I feel like it can be more on your terms than just kind of a surprise, like getting left to find your own way to a party or event or something like that, and being unhappy with your partner because they didn't look out for you or see if you were going or something like that. But if you pull it forward, you get it over quicker, you have more control about how it actually happens. It's not like a surprise looming in the distance. You pull it forward, you get through it, and then you can kind of negate this part out. But I feel like it would also put this relationship back on track, bringing it back towards the Ten of Pentacles. If you bring this forward and you just kind of get that communication going sooner, something is going to tick you off. It'll probably be different, but you'll at least have the power to get rid of it before. So it's not just looming in the distance as a surprise. How's that? Okay. Now let's do Gemini singles. Alright, now this, I'm feeling like there's a good friendship here. I'm feeling like a good friendship. I'm getting there's potential. It feels like there's potential, but it depends on the sexual attraction between the two of you. Seems to be lingering for a while. The other person seems to be questioning if there's anything that can happen here. They seem to be questioning if that, for one reason or another, they're not really sure if it can go anywhere, but I feel they're interested to know. I even feel like maybe this other person is enlisting help from others to try to pull you together or find a way to pull the two of you together so you can talk it out and see if there's a possibility here or not. I'm getting the timing is really bad when this happens. I'm getting, with the Ten of Wands, when the two of you come together, it doesn't seem like you're both on the same page. I feel like they're coming towards you, trying to get some intimate time, just try to see if there's a connection that can be promoted. I feel you are just in a different mode. You got other things going on. I just don't feel like you're not in that space right now. That's not where you're going. You're not looking to have that conversation right now. Other things going on. I feel like it's a busy moment. You're having fun doing something else. You don't want to slow down and have this conversation. It's just not something you want to do right now is what I'm getting. This Ten of Wands moment happens. It's too stressful. I feel like you're not interested in the conversation. I just feel like you're honestly not. When I get the Devil card here, you're just not interested in the conversation. When that happens, I feel the other person just giving up. They're literally giving up. That's what I'm getting with the Seven of Swords. If you know who this is, you can, of course, bring this forward. I don't know if there's a way for you to bring it forward if you don't know who it is, though. That's the problem. Because if you know who it is, you can find out, or you can touch base and see what they're thinking before this even becomes an issue. I feel like just knowing it's coming when that moment happens, and when you're not interested, they take it as if you're literally just completely not interested, and they move on. You may be, I don't feel like that's the case that you're not completely interested. It's just the timing is not working for you. You have other things going on. You're not in the talkable mode. Not in that sense anyway. You're not interested in that conversation. I feel like this is a heads up this is coming. But I don't know if you don't know who this person is, because there's a good chance you might not. That's what I'm getting. Because I'm noticing this is open, like you're not seeing it till it actually happens. So I don't know how you're supposed to really prepare for that. I feel like they're just saying when the moment comes, less is more. When the moment comes and this person's having this conversation, realize how you handle this could completely turn them off and get them to move away. Gemini has a lot of mental strength. I know that. So if you're aware that this person might completely just abandon the situation altogether based on how you handle it, you might find a way to just either push the conversation to like a week out. Just say, in case this is somebody you might be interested in, just tell them somehow that you're busy right now and try to get a conversation for like a later date. Like, let's hang out this time and we can talk about this if you want to. If you don't want this to completely disappear, something like that might be warranted. Just keep that in the back of your mind. If this is somebody who you don't really want to completely shut down all possibility, but you don't want to have that conversation right then, which I feel like is a very strong thing here, you really don't, then tell them, a week from now or whatever, let's hang out and just talk it out then and just see where each of us stands, something along those lines. That way this opportunity just doesn't walk away, and you can maybe discover or dig a little deeper to find out if this is really something you're interested in or not. All right. I think we're good. So that is for the single part. Let's do the last stone. That stone. All right. Stone number 3. All right, are they all in frame? Let's see if I can get them. These go down here, I think. I think this all goes kind of like this. All right, we're all in frame, I believe, for the most part. Probably as much as we're going to get anyway. All right, this is you. You'll notice in the beginning here, there's nothing here. And I know this is relationship, but because we're doing relationship first, those are good. There seems to be an open spot here. Oh, they got the no. This is, you can't see it on the camera if I can pull it up, though. It says no there. This other one is, though, peaceful resolution. Okay, that's the Lover's card. I'm going to try to move these up here so you can see them a little better. There we go. So relationship is where we're starting. There's a lot going on for your partner. I feel like this is like a lot of things. Like I got a lot of cups to make sure I keep them filled. Got to keep them filled with the right juices. Got to make sure that there's enough in there. Got to make sure I rinse out and do this. I got a lot going on here. Got a lot going on here. I feel you on this side with the Five of Swords. Like, well, I got a lot going on here too. But I feel like you're trying to make room. More room for your partner. Actually, that's my first thought when I'm getting the Five of Swords. Like, you're trying to push away other people so you can get closer to your partner. Like, I feel like you're trying to make space, but there's an open spot here. Like, if this is at a time when neither of you are able to come together, they're very busy doing everything they're doing. You're over here, you got a lot going on too, but you're handling it differently. You're like, you know what, let's move this around, let me push that around, I want to spend more time with my partner. So you're balancing things out. It's taking you a little time to do this, but that's where you are. The thing is, you're already in that mode. When you come towards your partner, I actually feel there's a moment here where you bring an idea forward to your partner. It almost seems like a random thing to them. I don't think it's as random to you, but to them it feels a little bit random, like it just came out of the blue. The Lovers card between you, you're like, this is a great idea. If you believe is making me feel like you're saying, this is a great idea, we could do this. Whatever you're proposing, they do love it. Because you got the Lovers in here. Like they're right on, they think that's a great idea. The thing is, they haven't been planning for this. They haven't been pushing things around or moving things around like you are. So they have all this weighing on them, and it's kind of saying, I can't do that. So the original plan is a no. That's what I'm getting. The original plan is a definite no. But what I'm getting after this, and I feel like, I don't know if you're leaving the door open or not, but I feel like there's more talk after this, because your partner does like this idea, very excited about this idea. What I see coming from this is like down the road a little bit, they'll be thinking about it with the peaceful resolution, and I'm getting the Emperor here, like trying to find another way for this great idea to come forward. It's not going to go on the same time as originally planned. Something's going to have to go differently. It might be one of those things where a few weeks goes by, because it says a few weeks later or whatever, within the next few weeks. A few weeks goes by, they bring it up again, and they're like, well, I couldn't do it then, or whatever the original plan was, but this next time when the opportunity comes around, I can plan for that. I can make that happen. I would like to do that if you're interested. And I feel like this is the peaceful resolution. This is the Emperor coming in, seeing all angles, planning it out ahead of time. They're just saying a few weeks after this, the opportunity is going to come around again, and there's going to be something farther down the road that you both can capitalize on. And I've been feeling this the whole time through, but I'm also seeing, like, when you're pushing things around, trying to make things happen, I'm seeing this where it's like a possibility for you. You're not really 100% sure it's going to happen, but if you want this opportunity to come in on time the first time, you do have an option for that, but you're going to have to talk, you're going to have to bring this together. You're going to have to talk with them, you're going to have to start planning with them. They are going to love this idea, they are going to want to do this idea. If you want it to come off the way you want to the first time around, you got to start the conversation right in the beginning so that they start moving things around the way you are, so this can happen. But you can have this the first time around. You just, as soon as this happens, you got to bring it together and get them talking so that they can also, like you, move things around and so that things can work out on time. It's the only way it's going to happen the first time around. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait for the second time around. All right. Now let's do singles. Gemini singles. Are you playing coy, or are you not interested? Coy. Okay. You're playing coy. This person over here that you're interested in, are they interested in you? This is very casual. Something's a little interesting because again, there's an open spot here. I feel like you're looking at this person and they play the field. They like to see other people. They like to do this. They like to do that. You're not really sure about how strong their intentions are. At least that towards you. You're not completely confident that that's what's happening. So I feel like you're a little bit precautious. Like, I don't want to just, be a flash in the pan for this person. I don't want to, like, start to get to know or get a little closer, and then they're done and they move on to somebody else. So you're being a little cautious is what I'm getting. And I feel like that's why there's this open spot. Like, there's not really much happening between you and this person. It's just kind of, you like this person, but you're like, I might get left in the dust here quite easily. Now, this is a very weird spot because I feel like you match with this person. I feel like the two of you match quite well. But that no at the bottom, I'm just like, what's the no? They're not happy with what's currently going on in their life. I do feel the two of you coming together. I feel one way or another it's obvious that you're both interested. You're both, like, I feel the two of you match a lot better than you realize. The other person may not be ready to go forward yet. They may not be ready to date yet. The figuring out the no. I feel like this is like the biggest gift for the single. Why is this no here? You have to dig deeper, and Gemini is great for figuring things out. You can see so many angles. Why is that no there? Because it's not the interest, it's not... For some reason, they can't do a relationship right now. That's how they feel. You got to find out that no. The if you believe is like, this doesn't have to be a one and done. This doesn't have to be you both like each other, but there's nothing you can do about it. You got to find out what this no is about. This is definitely subject personally to you and your situation. Because if you can find out that no, I feel like you can find a way around it. You're great at finding different angles. That's like one of the gifts of the Gemini. Finding all these different angles, looking at it so many different ways and being like, yeah, I know you think this is a no, but here's how it can be a yes. And it's not going to be an easy answer. It's going to take some time, but you can do it. I have no problem. I have no doubt in that. You just got to find out why this no is here. Because there is a match here. There's a very strong match here. So when this keeps going forward, I'm getting you can win them over. But with the Emperor, I'm kind of feeling like there's some type of restraint here. It depends how you're working it out, because I feel like the restraint is telling me you're both actually happy. But it's not, I don't feel like this is an official thing. I feel like this is like trying to work things out. Let's see if we can make it work. I don't feel like it's official, but I feel like you're trying to see if it can work. You notice within a few weeks is here. So it's going to take you a while to convince this person to give it a shot. But there's also like this emotional buffer. Like, just in case it doesn't work out, no harm, no foul. I feel like you're keeping it private, very private, quite frankly. And they seem to be, they're interested. They'd like to see if it could work. And you seem to be setting up this situation where we can see if it works without bringing anybody else into it, just private between us. We'll see how far it goes, and over the next few months, if it works, great. If it doesn't, I understand. I feel like it's going to go well, though, because this person does want it to go. You seem to be finding a way to remove a lot of the stress so they can like find out if this is something that can happen or can't happen. I like this. I feel like this is ending good. Alright, and that's the last one for Gemini. So thank you for watching. Of course, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.